Hi guys, those that watched us in the live interview before, welcome. I'm just jumping from one thing to another here. All of us forgot that it is actually sort of Friday today because tomorrow is midsummer. So we are going to wrap up week 3 visualization early. Hopefully all of you that are a little behind on their projects just gonna, after snaps at the midsummer table, go and click buttons and flash their microcontrollers, and you will have some time to catch up in the long weekend. Here is Joachim, maybe.
Yep. Good morning.
We don't see you, so I'll remove you for now. So figure out yourself. There's not that many TAs, I guess, also going on for the midsummer break now. But yeah, we will just keep it short. Thing number 1, very important, that everyone asked me to forward to you, is this book a time slot here. This is in course announcements on Discord. If you're aiming at a grade higher than C, then hopefully you have already come pretty far on your project. Yeah, now you should know, basically, book a time slot so you can finalize your project with the, here we go, Joachim, with the TA. This is also so we can make schedule for the presentations, because since if you want a higher grade, you also need a longer slot for your presentation. And it was some questions on like, when will we get the time? How can we plan the last week? Right, we are working on it. Hopefully next week everyone will get their time slot, and but it will be sometime in the working hours, and we will add a few evening slots for you that are working during the day in the final week. So that is that. And in general, keep an eye on the announcements. There are sometimes some spontaneous events happening. Today I talked to Oline, a really nice interview. It's a bit more less technical and more fluffy, and just for your inspiration. Oline is a founder of a Danish startup. There were basically students that built the company, and one of the prototypes you showed during the lecture how their first device looked like, and it's not much different from what you're building here in this course. I think it's great that it can basically go out from nothing to solving pretty cool problems for the industry. They are working with construction sites, saving power, basically with the help of IoT. So really cool. Watch that, and keep an eye on this channel in general. Anything else that I forgot here on Discord, Joachim? What do you think? Was it nothing else? Obviously, there's also always the vote channel and the workshops. So not much more there.
I believe also you could actually mention if you're unable to attend one of these higher grade discussions, you can actually write like a small description of your project in the higher grade channel as well, so we can keep track of those who aim for higher grades.
Yeah, there is a high grade channel as well. And then what we go, and in general, what the question like, what do I need for a higher grade? Again, go to the study guide. I think I describe it pretty well, both in the video that you have in this playlist on YouTube and on Canvas in the study guide. There is a table with that. So we talked about this a lot, so I don't want to go too much into that. Next thing is that now basically, if you still haven't come up with your project idea, now is the time. So like on the midsummer is your last chance if you want to finish on time. Then of course a bunch of you still haven't maybe received their hardware, so don't worry, we understand. There will also be a chance to present your project in August. Then the downside of that is the TAs won't be with you during the summer. We also need to rest sometimes, but I think a few people will still hang out on Discord. So if you have a problem, maybe we can still assist you. So don't get discouraged if you still haven't started. There is still both time now to catch up during the last weeks here, and then you will have time to present in August. But if you're going with the pace of the course, then also now it's a good idea to have a look at the project report, or the IoT tutorial. So it's built as instruction for someone else, basically to be able to build the same thing. So we're kind of inspired by the HackMD community, and in general, it's pretty common if you have seen other guides. So we try to follow that. So watch this walkthrough by Fredrik. We haven't changed much this year from the previous editions. And you can both do it on GitHub if you want to share together with your code, or add it on HackMD. There are instructions for everything, and here is the actual template. And here for might be confusing on Canvas in the study guide. We talk about a T1, T2, right? Tutorial 1. This is haven't come up with better names. So, and then people ask, where is the advanced tutorial template? Is this the same template? But see, like here is like, ooh, little star. So if you're aiming for a higher grade, if your project is more complex, then you also have to provide more things. So like not just say, okay, this is the platform that I used to Adafruit or whatever. Also like choose why did you choose this, what is the advantages and disadvantages, and basically like reason a bit more the same on the connectivity, presenting the data and the database, right? And then if you use like one of these no code platforms, you still like try to investigate, okay, how long does it save my data for? What are the limitations? How much do I have? Is that a good solution for this type of problem, or not? And then it's completely okay to write, no, I picked this because it was easier for this project, right? But then reason, okay, what could be done in a more like real world setting, and try to like, just a tip, it's always easier to write while you document along while you're doing the project. So just import this template and start filling it in, at least in a draft way, right? Then you, Joachim, also wanted to say a bit on like how did this week go on the workshops and trying these different platforms. There were some problems, right?
Yeah, there has been a couple of students, or a lot of students actually, have followed guides from like alternative sites, and that might not actually work all the time, because guides can become obsolete and things like that, especially like regarding the firmware on the Pico. Previously, we've had like separate libraries for different sensors, whereas now they are built in, so they will like collide in the code if you try to import the external library and things like that. So we would encourage the students to follow the guides on the roadmaps, or the roadmap rather.
Yeah. So for each platform, because we did go through them, and the TAs kind of do it continuously. They try things to make sure that what they suggest works right now. And when you just find something on the internet, or you ask GPT, right, is this especially bad for these things like analyzing documentation, because it gets outdated so fast. So please, just, we will save a lot of time. Do not do that. Yeah, then more about the projects again. If this is what Carl Johan wrote here, is that yeah, if you still need inspiration or examples, right, look at our Hall of Fame, the first link on Canvas, or the week 2 kickoff video where we talk a lot about this. And we showed kind of a presentation of all of the projects that were built in recent years. And then it's also, sometimes you just have to start simple, okay, like humidity, temperature, whatever, right? And then before you go big and try to scale. So make sure that something works, like an MVP, very standard project, before you try to add a lot of complexity. And then please photograph, screenshot, take videos. We do encourage you to share them on Discord, because it builds confidence in others. And even if you just made the light blink right now and you're like, well, this is really basic, I should have done this like week 1, please do share it. There are a lot of people, like you're more than 100, that are just following the pace, right? And even more that are maybe lagging behind, right? It is a great push to motivation if you share what you do. And it's also good to use later in your presentation. So we do, when you then present your project, we do encourage you to kind of walk us through how you were developing it, what maybe you started with, what worked, what didn't work. So all this material that you make now will be useful for you later. It's always, you're not going to remember what you did in the beginning. So try to document and stick it in the template, in the tutorial template as well. If possible, try to be as detailed as possible. So think sort of, okay, if a friend of mine will want to repeat this, how much documentation he will want to have. So this is I think what we should aim for. Something else, guys? Do you see?
I don't think so, actually. It's been quite a straightforward week. I think, seeing from the workshops, a lot of students have actually gotten well on their way already. A lot of students were actually on the visualization part even last week. So I think we're doing good.
Yeah. I also think you guys are a very good run this year. Everyone is, at least those that we see, are doing really good. I saw some nice progress already. Then we're not going to keep you much longer. I don't see any questions. Otherwise, you have your last chance in the live lectures or live lecture. My God, channel or here on YouTube. We see those two. Otherwise, I'll just wish you a happy midsummer. Don't drink, or drink responsibly, and work on your projects, and have fun in this wonderful summer weather that we're having back here in Sweden, at least. Yeah. All right, guys. The same to TAs, and see you.
The same to you.
No, see you next week. Next week we're just gonna focus on the projects, but we'll still have stand-ups and this QA sessions, and hopefully another guest lecture. So see you next week. Bye-bye.
See you.
See you. Bye.